What's up? I wanted to goof off with text-to-speech that doesn't involve generative AI. It was back when text-to-speech was funnier. Why am I using this meme text-to-speech voice with a high pitch? I learned this effect at high pitch with this voice creates the text-to-speech voice used for Springtrap in the Five Nights at Freddy's role-playing game fun game Five Nights at Fuckboys 3. The developers of that fan game somehow managed to predict that Springtrap, or rather the now deceased child murderer who died of spring lock failure inside the suit, was British. I was going to copy-paste the self-demonstrating page for William Afton on TV Tropes here, but that article seems to be no more. Fortunately, it was preserved in the Wayback Machine, so I found it and could copy-paste the page here piece by piece. Why not all at once? Because this text-to-speech site only allows up to 600 characters at once. The following is written from William Afton's point of view. Hello? Can you hear me? Ah, you are awake. But, oh, before we start, let me give you some friendly advice. Don't move. I believe you have noticed that you are inside a suit right now, yes? Well, that's not just any suit. You see, that's a springlock suit, an invention of an old friend of mine. It can be worn like a costume and operate as an animatronic attraction, but if you accidentally trigger those spring locks, two things will happen. First, all the locks will snap right into you, making deep cuts all over your body, and a split second later all the animatronic parts they've been holding back, all that sharp steel and hard plastic, will instantly be driven into your body. You will die, but it will be slow. You'll feel your organs punctured, the suit will grow wet with your blood, and you will know you're dying for long minutes. You'll try to scream, but you will be unable to. Your vocal cords will be severed, and your lungs will fill with your own blood until you drown in it. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, so again, don't move. Anyway, I welcome you to my own self-demonstrating page. I truly hope you will enjoy your time here. My name, or at least my former, original name, is William Afton. I used to be the co-owner of Freddy's Family Diner and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, as well as the founder of my own company, Afton Robotics. Of course, that wasn't all that was going on in my life. Have you ever heard of the missing children incident? I was responsible for it. I hope this page will help you to understand me a bit more. However, I want to specify that due to this series' complex plot, I myself might be unsure about some of the things I will say, or perhaps I simply don't want to tell you all the truth, who knows. Now then, shall we begin? Abusive dad, yes. I did send my own son Michael to his imminent death, but why would I have wanted to risk my own life when I had him to use? He wanted to redeem himself, and I gave him that chance. Although it's ambiguous how much I care about my daughter Elizabeth in the games, it is shown in the book trilogy that I am abusive towards her. If that kid from the fourth game is a child of mine, I suppose I should have checked on him more. Then again, I doubt I would have cared since I barely did much with him face to face. If we assume Vanessa was my daughter or granddaughter, then I'd potentially count as one both when she was a child and when I encountered her as Glitchtrap. But let's be honest, relative or not, in either case I made her become more than she ever was before. It's also possible that I myself have had an abusive father, if you assume the orange man from Pizzeria Simulator is my father, of course. Adaptational wimp, I am much weaker in the Fazbear Frights books than I am in the games. Yes, I am not pleased with it. But I would like someone like you trying to survive a raging inferno while the ghost of a meddlesome brat is haunting your nightmares. Admiring the abomination, it truly is fascinating what they have become. Ambiguous situation alternative character interpretation. There's some debate as to whether I genuinely loved my daughter Elizabeth or I was simply trying to manipulate her into becoming a killer just like me. In my personal opinion, there isn't much difference. A perhaps even bigger debate is whether Glitchtrap, and, by extension, Springtrap is my actual soul or just a digital copy of myself. Honestly, you shouldn't worry too much about that, because in either case, that means that I'm back. Animal motif, rabbits. After all, I did use the spring bonnie suit to commit my crimes and I feel particularly attached to it, in every sense. Arch enemy, although all my victims hate me quite a lot, Henry's daughter is surely the one who hates me the most. Henry himself also qualifies, and potentially Michael as well. Bad as normal. Don't forget that I destroyed 4 different haunted animatronics all by myself, while I still was human. Becoming the mask, as Glitchtrap I no longer am wearing a costume, I am the costume. Big bad. Everything happening throughout the series is, either directly or indirectly, because of me. At the same time I am also the greatest scope villain and the heavy. Big bad triumvirate, with my daughter in Pizzeria Simulator. Big bad wannabe. In the FNaFb Frights universe Eleanor is much more powerful than me and has helped me with building my amalgamation. As they say, there's always a bigger fish. Canon character all along, evil all along. The man in room 1280 was actually me. Catchphrase. I always come back complete monster. Many people say that I am one in the main games and in the books trilogy. I couldn't keep the title in the FNaFb Frights books because of Eleanor. Corrupt corporate executive. I am the CEO of Afton Robotics. The corruptor. Some interpret Elizabeth wanting to become like me as a result of me corrupting her. But then again, the fun times were not always the most stable animatronics. I definitely am one for Vanny. Covered in scars. In the book trilogy my body is completely covered in scars due to past spring lock failure. I take this chance to remind you not to move. Death is cheap. Don't expect me to stay dead anytime soon. Draco in leather pants. I am going to be completely honest, I myself am surprised I get this. The dog was the mastermind. There's a chance I was the day shift guard mentioned in the second game. Evil Brit evil sounds deep, as you have probably noticed. I have a very deep voice with a strong British accent. Evil genius. I hope you didn't think my robots were as poorly designed as Henry's. Exit. Pursued by a bear. If that mutilated blob thing hadn't caught me I would have managed to avoid burning alive for the 3rd time. Fat bastard. The Silver Eyes describes me as having had, quite some weight in the past. FNaFbly evil. This is quite useful when your main targets are children. Guttural growler. My voice became quite raspy after my vocal cords got crushed by that spring bonnie suit for 30 years. Hated by all. I have made many enemies over these last few decades. The Emilys, those spiteful brats, a rebellious child and his bodyguard of a bear, that foolish detective, and even my own son. But to be fair, considering what I did to them, they have every right to despise me. Hate sink. Why I wouldn't be surprised if you despise me to considering my reputation. Humans are the real monsters. Don't fear those robots. Fear any. I have many names. William Afton, Purple Guy, Dave Miller, Springtrap, Scraptrap, Glitchtrap, the man in room 1280, Burntrap, but ultimately, no matter what name you use, it's still me. Invincible villain. I have been crushed by a spring bonnie suit, burned alive twice, and trapped in a video game. But I always come back, hoping I survived the 3rd time of getting burned alive. Ironic hell. After burning alive for the 2nd time, I was seemingly finished in hell tormented by various animatronics. The FNaFb Frights books, however, imply that wasn't really hell, but a nightmare created by one of my more bitter victims. Luke, I might be your father. The child from FNaFb is very likely my son. There's also a chance that Vanny is my daughter, since her last name could be Afton and her father was called Bill. I could clarify, but you'll just have to see for yourself. Killed off for real. My 2 book counterparts went through this fate. Unfortunately for you, in the games, I am still very alive. Probably. Mad scientist. Just visit my own pizzeria and you will understand that scientist is a term that definitely fits me. Once I realized what remnant is and what I am capable of doing with it, I had to know more. My very actions could be for science itself. Manipulative bastard. It is not my fault if people are so easy to manipulate. They just are. Mimetic loser. Oh, how much I hate this one. Due to me not being able to accomplish much during my boss battle in Security Breach, and being defeated by the blob immediately after, people have started to see me as an old weakling. Sometimes even depicting me on a wheelchair. Yes, I know in the book's trilogy I actually was on a wheelchair at some point, but I don't like this portrayal anyway. And stop calling me Peeper Willie. You make me sound like a crazy old man. No name given, only known by their nickname. Before the Silver Eyes, my real name was completely unknown. Back then I was simply called Purple Guy and Springtrap, or I was given names by the fans. I heard the most common at the time was Vincent. Purple is powerful, my main color is purple. Sadist, it is not your flesh that sustains me. It is your fear. Serial killer, if you know anything about me or my franchise, then I definitely don't need to explain this one. Transhuman abomination. I dreaded the torment at first, but now I've accepted the new life that I have been given. I am now one with my creation. Too dumb to live. I don't quite appreciate being called dumb. But I have to admit that two of my actions weren't quite smart either. I honestly don't remember why I thought hiding inside that springlock suit was a good idea, but what else was I supposed to do? Those ghosts had me surrounded. But I came back anyway. I definitely was too self-confident when I walked into that pizzeria, even though I perfectly knew it was a trap. But then again, I always come back. The unfought. In Security Breach I don't fight directly. Instead preferring to use the other robots against that kid. In retrospect, I might have avoided burning a third time had I taken him seriously. Villainous breakdown. Although I usually maintain a very calm behavior, there have been 2 times where I couldn't keep it together. When those ghosts had me cornered, I was absolutely terrified. What? You find this funny? Well, I'd like to see you in that same exact situation. In Pizzeria Simulator when Henry burned me alive. My face that time says it all. Villain decay. According to some, I have been suffering this recently. I personally digress, but if you really think that I am not as dangerous as I used to be, why don't you come closer and fight me? Oh, right, you can't move. Virtual ghost, as glitch trap I am this. Walking spoiler, it is hard, if not outright impossible, to talk about me without revealing various important plot details. Was once a man. There was a time long ago that I used to be just like you. But now? Not so much. Would hurt a child, 11 of them to be precise, perhaps even more. And I'm not done yet. Well, I believe we are done here. I really appreciated our little talk. Hope you don't mind if I leave you here with the lights off. Rest easy, now. Just remember not to move. Out of character now, though that page on TV Tropes was cut, there will be a link to it through the Wayback Machine in the description. Given that Five Nights at Fuckboys 3 inspired this video, I might as well link it in the Five Nights at Fuckboys complete collection in the description too. Oh, and the link to this very site in case you wanted to goof off with your own text-to-speech lines. Another reason I made this video was to remind the internet of the comedic potential of text-to-speech misreading lines. Ignore the AI demo above and use this text-to-speech demo. Or if you want to, say, do comic dubs, use your own voice. Generative AI wastes water and power that should have been used for drinking and powering homes respectively, and the generative AI economic bubble is going to burst either by the end of the year or sometime next year. I think that's it. If you think this video deserves it, leave a like and comment to boost this in the YouTube algorithm. If you think I deserve it, feel free to subscribe to me. It's free and helps me out. Goodbye for now.